I found these legs you can put on your speakers too.
What
These
are these?
Magico
Sorry.
M-Pod support system. It's like legs you can put on the bottom of your speakers. They come in like a nice box too, and
Okay, so this is just aesthetics. This is
this
aesthetics.
is what it looks like. If you look, I have it right here. It's the legs on a speaker, and what this is going to
Wait,
run.
wait, wait. That's the finish. That's what it looks like in the
Yeah,
end.
yeah, and it sounds good.
That looks like you're like jacking it up to like do work underneath the speaker. Like you have, like if you guys could see this, it does not make it look better by any means.
That looks like they were trying to do a special effect where they were like claiming that it was floating,
Yeah,
but then they didn't think they could really pull that off, so they just included the whole thing where they were rigging it to be floating.
Well,
yeah, it's really.
What if I told you each leg only costs $1,050?
Why you don't sell that per? You need all 4 legs. You can't sell it per leg. I just buy one. I mean, I guess a replacement one, but you should sell a pack of 4.
What's so strange about this stuff is that I feel like these could only make it sound worse.
Oh no, there's
Like-
no fucking way.
Like they're made with all these different materials, all these different like electromagnetic frequencies. Like it's only going to cause it to be more noisy.
Oh, for sure. Well, here's a problem that I think a lot of these guys run into, and I thought I'd want to get into here with you. This is from Jeffrey Davidson off of the Steve Hoffman, who that's the big forum for audio.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll never understand it. Why in our beautiful world of audio communication do people who love music intensely not participate in what we find as indispensable joy with the recreation of music in our home? My wife, for example, the first time we met, I enter her house and the Beatles' Please Please Me album is playing through her sound system. I thought, nice start there. So he walked.
Oh, he's like,
Okay, at least you don't got it on some Bose bullshit and got them coming out the headphones. All right. We're on a system. Okay.
But when I invited her to my house and played any Beatles or any music through my sound system, there's no grasp from her of the quality of what I and you enjoy. She didn't even fucking get it. Okay?
wait, why is
She's lucky I married her.
this is his wife? Like not a girl that he
My
like met.
bitch wife
Yeah,
doesn't even understand how good my setup is.
She doesn't get how good she has it. The other wives' ears are getting assaulted. Yeah, this is so wild. Yeah, that he's just like, I'm sure she didn't say anything negative.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like she doesn't sound like she said anything negative. It just sounds like she didn't like start going like, holy fuck.
Right.
Like, holy shit. Like I thought I was getting it like the warmness of this Beatles record now that, like,
I didn't even know they recorded it for mono. Wow.
I've sang professionally for 30 years and have met many musicians who aren't into high-end audio either. I've heard numbers as low as less than 1% of the U.S. population is into it. I would enjoy hearing from our
Where did you
forum.
hear those numbers?
I don't know.
Where are those numbers even being tossed around?
Who's doing this research?
This
I don't
guy,
think
he asks everybody he knows.
Nobody cares about that enough
was
to do the research.
I would enjoy.
There was a global survey.
This guy's met 100 people in his life, and only one of them cared, and it's him.
He's just extrapolating that.
Yeah, I would enjoy hearing from our forum regarding this disconnect because it's causing friction in our marriage as well. I'd like to listen to a lot more than I am able, but I have to respect her, and I have a nice set of cans with an amp too. Prefer open sound in a room, don't have the funds for a soundproof room. Thanks. So basically his wife is like, all you fucking do is put your headphones on and listen to music.
Yeah, no, that's if she's lucky.
I know
that he puts the headphones on and listens to music. That's on the good days. On the bad days, it's just blaring through the house like fucking Pink Floyd shit, like just absolutely pounding it.
How many like dates do you think they went on before he was like, do you think this sounds better?
I really have to say that like there's no world in which I would think my if I went to my first date with somebody and they were listening to music through a system that I didn't think was good, I would still have not brought that up now to this day. I would just be like, yeah, you were doing pretty good, you know, hey, right on with you. You know,
I think this guy said it right away. I would imagine,
Oh,
like, you know, the first time that they were sitting there, he was kind of looking at her, and then he just sort of like it was dead silent for so long. He's like, you know, this sounds way better, right? You know? And she's like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Like, yeah.
it's funny because like it's the way I think about sometimes my wife's taste in like comedy or something like that. She'll be like, hey, do you think this guy's funny? I'll be like, yeah, but I don't really think the guy's funny. You know what I mean? But it's just like, whatever. I don't think anybody's funny. That's just the way it's going to be. A guy did respond to him. And he goes, I guess that's one of the reasons why I don't have a girlfriend yet. By the way, I still crack up when I think back to the Grateful Dead thread where people were talking about dreaming of having some gorgeous stripper doing lap dances for them during one of the many live versions of Dark Star.
What? Ew.
That might be why you don't have a girl. You're still thinking about that and laughing. Like, you're just like, that's like in your mind still.
I'm
like,
mad that that's in my mind. I'm never gonna be able to listen to that song now.
Think about like how you could be, you know, possibly attractive to a person.
Any other person.
Yeah. Red Shifter actually said, do you have the urge to upgrade your wife or significant other's headphones? I got my wife.
Oh my God.
You know what's really weird about this is like they must know that hearing ability is like wildly varying, right? Yes. Like people have tinnitus. People have like hurt their hearing by like listening to loud concerts in their teenage years. Like maybe they just can't hear the difference honestly. And I like give audiophiles the grace to be like, maybe you actually can. Like maybe you have better hearing than me, and that's important to you.
You're entertaining.
So fine. Yeah. Fine, I don't care. But like, don't tell me what I have to listen. Like, it sounds the same to me. Yeah. Maybe I have shitty ears.
And maybe I like my headphones. Maybe their wives like their headphones.
I know.
Like, even if they're like, hey, I've grown to love these. They're like really reliable. They feel really comfortable. Yeah, it's really comfortable on my face. And then all of a sudden you're like, no, honey. What you're gonna want to hear a little more of the low end on,
on your Taylor Swift record.
You take this bag of pebbles onto the corner.
Yeah, can you get by your time? My hands aren't small enough to get behind there to tape the pebbles on the cord. Can you do that, honey?
Well, this is where it gets a little.
I can't believe you're not subscribed to using my Tidal subscription that I brought you so you can listen to Flax. You're listening to Spotify.
Yeah, I got an external hard drive to handle the space. We're going to Flax
I bought you Neil Young's Ponyo or whatever it's called.
Well, that's out of business, but I do have the Qboz. If you guys have heard of the Qboz streaming service.
I have. What's Qboz?
That's the hi-fi streaming service.
That makes sense. That makes sense that a business like that would exist, you know.
Qboz or something like that. Yeah, I just saw it over and over again, and I looked it up, and it looks like they like Qboz or Qboz, and they like Deezer. Those are
okay. That's the French one, right?
And Apple too. And a lot of them will stick up for Spotify if you turn all the settings for, saving bandwidth and stuff off on the Spotify. There is a way. This guy does say, I got my wife some Sony EX70s and she loved them so much she refused to even listen to anything else. So why do I still have the urge to push better headphones on her?
What? Why would you get her mid headphones?
Yeah, you bought them.
You bought them, motherfucker. He just wants to upgrade so bad. He wants to go to the store and buy the upgraded headphones.
You're right.
Those people are sick. They just want an excuse to get something better.
Always want to upgrade. It's all about upgrading because, if you become sort of obsessed with the thing and then you get your system, now you've just got it and you're listening to it, and that's okay for a while. But then I think being obsessed with it, you're going to have that itch again where you're like, I got to see what the fuck else is out there. Like, have they gotten better,
Someone has definitely invented a better wire.
Yeah, there might be. Somebody might have found smaller rocks,
Blip did respond to him and say, I've managed to turn my significant other into quite a little speaker audiophile. But alas, headphones still elude her. Not that I'm complaining. How many other women consider cables a valid anniversary present? And I'm going to make the argument that his doesn't either.
No, I think I mean, who knows? We don't know, but I think, you know, that could be a situation where she's like, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and humor you. This is obviously very important to you. I know that does happen sometimes.